The road to take over Orlando is starting to shape up a little bit more. It's no longer under construction. The pavement's down. It's still drying, waiting for some paint. We're talking about all of that and more tonight on the NXT After Show. Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV NXT After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm one of your hosts, and it's Mark Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, joined as always by every known living member of the NXT team, aside from Kathy Kelly. And
Alex Kozlov and Ryan Klum
and Dale Rutledge, who he's
yeah. So not
okay. So all right. I may have overreached just a little bit, but all present members of the NXT team.
Yes.
So everybody's here.
I mean, and you're looking over here on this side of the table at the authors of Plain.
That was good.
Yeah.
I'm just happy you didn't make
Vanilla. Oh.
all about that Dannon plain yogurt.
How does yogurt get here?
How about joined as always by the one and only True Hobo?
Yeah. Yep. That's me.
Yep.
Hey, if you want to see me wrestle for ROH this weekend, tweet them with the hashtag #HireTheHobo, because I'm here to cause trouble.
Also, Bill Hanstock.
Nice. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just here normally. So
Yeah.
I normally end up causing trouble no matter what. So
You don't mean to, though.
No,
That is not your intention, but somehow, damned it be, you always do manage to cause a
as
ruckus.
try as I might, story of my life. I just want to make people happy, and I end up hurting everyone. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at Sundown Motel.
You make the doves cry, Bill. You make the doves cry.
Sounds like we're in quite the emotional state to talk about wrestling.
Wrestling!
So, tonight's show gets started. We're finally at the University of Central Florida, UCF. Gotten that wrong before.
Go Centrals!
Yeah. Go centrists.
Yeah!
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. And we've got Ty Dillinger coming out. Hot crowd. Loving the perfect 10. Followed up by Eric Young. We're getting Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young to start
This
the
is
show.
happening! This is happening!
And even-
you guys!
Even more so, Eric Young sends Sanity away. He's like, no, you and me.
God damn you, Jack!
Sends Sanity away. And as they're starting to rev up in the ring, Sanity drags out Roderick Strong, whose shirt is all ripped up, muffed up. Looks like he's got some reddish on him. He was drinking some Kool-Aid.
Question!
Nope, not gonna answer your question, so don't even ask it. It looks like Sanity beat the crap out of Roderick Strong, and what's Ty gonna do?
The crowd was kind of lukewarm.
Yeah, it's like,
to the
oh.
plight of Roddy.
We had the 4 people right at the entrance next to the camera who were like, hey, Roderick, you all right?
Roddy. I don't think anybody knew who it was. To
'Cause- yeah,
start,
'cause
because
he-
he's all doubled over,
and
no one
covering
can
his
see
face.
him, and he's kind of maybe bleeding, and he looks like he's got a pirate's blouse on. It's all muffed up.
It's Jerry Seinfeld. It's the shirt. It's
Yeah.
the puffy shirt from Seinfeld. We'll make it work. We'll keep using it, and it'll become a part of
Absolutely.
regular parlance. So what is Ty going to do? Is he going to stay? He's going to fight Eric Young? No.
Well, Jose comes out.
Well, after he starts checking up on
Well, yeah.
Roderick Strong, and this match essentially doesn't happen. What does this mean for the feud betwixt Ty Dillinger and Eric Young? Bill, how do you think all this is rolling out? They got beat up in the middle of the ring. Oh, this terror.
I don't know, man.
Sanity is just
The
madness.
damned numbers game. How do you prepare for people who aren't sane? You can't.
You
There's
gotta
no game plan.
drink a
do it.
lot of absinthe.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Drink absinthe and just kind of feel where it takes you.
Do you do it properly? You warm it in the spoon. Yeah. You gotta warm the sugar, and it's never mind. Regardless.
Don't usually take a lighter and spoon to enjoy my absinthe. It's usually to enjoy something else.
Well, I'm glad you know the proper way to enjoy that, as it gets you all properly muffed up. After the match, we've got Peyton Royce and Billie Kay in the Performance Center looking for a place to put their award. This was silly and really fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this more? Not everything has to be scripted. Just do this
I
sometimes.
feel like they have been doing stuff like this a lot more lately.
I
At least
think
with
you're
these
right.
two.
Yeah, and it feels good. it feels like it makes for better television when not everything is rigorously structured. Maybe, yeah, you have a time frame that's structured, but just let people be sometimes. Let them be themselves. Let them try and get people to like them or dislike them just based upon their own merits.
Yeah, and they ended up running into Ember Moon, who was training rigorously, as you put it.
Yeah.
And they get chased off.
I mean, that's what happens when you get...
End of segment.
You poke Ember Moon. She was behind glass. They were safe. But after that, she came through those doors. Looked like she was going to muff them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's just keep rolling with it. We find out that later in the night, we're going to have Ember Moon versus Billie Kay, and there may be some implications for TakeOver with that. Now, the highlight of the show, the non-match highlight of the show, was this really awesome, weird, dark promo for presumably Aleister Black.
Yep.
Had to have been. Yeah.
This looked so cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I'm really curious as to who put this together, because I don't think they really talk about.
Might have been Gangrel.
Maybe they don't talk about the part of the performance center that they filmed this in. I didn't know the PC had a chapel. I didn't know.
It's underground.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then Gangrel's definitely there.
Yeah, it's under the stage where the Brood lowers into.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what's under every arena that they came up from, is that big room.
Cool.
With the stained glass window.
Yeah. Where does the light come in?
Thank you, Jimbo.
Jimbo's doing some Brood whispering for us.
Shout out to our ASMR listeners one more time.
Indeed.
When do you think we're going to see Aleister Black? Do you think it's going to be as soon as TakeOver?
I'd have to imagine it's going to be TakeOver. I think any sooner's kind of too soon, and then any later is kind of too late.
Interesting point you have there.
Yeah, like the soon is 2 and the late is 2, so it's gotta be the TakeOver in Orlando.
And that would be the best for everyone.
Yes. That's not 2. That's 2 with 1 O. T-O. That's 2. We're going to Orlando.
It's wordplay. Two. So far, I would like to say, I would like to nominate this podcast episode for Podcast of the Year at any award show.
I am so sorry.
No. I'm really out of it too. Like just before the show, I got hit with this just massive, just bad. Yeah, it's been an interesting week.
I am the anchor of this show so
That
far.
Hobo's holding us
You guys may as well not be here. I'll just make bad jokes.
Life is
for the
tenuous,
next
y'all.
45 minutes.
Hobo's holding us all together.
Yeah.
Hobo's holding it down.
It's a kind
the
of
family.
March it is.
I am muffing this show
Well,
up.
It's gonna be March.
Luckily, there's not a lot of show to recap, so
That's
let's
the thing.
continue.
Is
I don't
we've
know,
got
it feels like there was a lot.
We
a lot
technically
You
of
have a lot
have-
of notes. You have a lot of notes.
we technically
There were a lot of
have
segments.
5 matches, but
Wow.
one of them was not that. We had 5 scheduled matches.
Schedule.
There's like 11 segments in this show.
There's a lot. Yeah. After this, we had Ho Ho
An
Lun
hour.
versus Cien Almas. Lun just could not make a dent in Almas whatsoever. Didn't even get him off the ground.
No, not at all. Double drop kicks, kicking, punching, ain't doing a darn thing to Cien Almas. Ho Ho Lun may as well not have been there. I hope he got paid. Because, or else why? Why?
I think I figured out what they can do with Ho Ho Lun at this point. They should bring him into Sanity as their mascot called the Lunatic.
Yeah. And he's
Thanks, Jimbo.
very good. He'll be dressed in black and white. And he'll be the Ho Ho Lunatic. Yep, this sounds like a plan. Book it.
The end. Tommy end. But
Not anymore.
how does
NXT the Tommy End at the beginning.
so many colons? How does going up against an opponent like Ho Ho Lun help or hinder Andrade Almas's progression in NXT?
Makes him look like a real jerk and a meanie and a bully. So I mean, why not? He had to stick his tongue out a lot and beat up on a little boy.
There is an old adage in every fighting sport: you're only as good as the man you beat. And Ho Ho Lun was basically not present, so Cien Almas didn't beat anybody.
It
was basically just an exercise in I don't know, standing.
I've seen more competitive matches with DDT superstar Yoshihiko.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, watched a wonderful match between him and
Very,
Kota Ibushi
very
today.
competitive. He's a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah, former champion.
Seriously,
I think
yeah.
did you and him shared the champ? You both have title reigns of the same championship.
We're part of the same proud lineage for sure.
Yeah.
That's really, wow, man.
You and Ladder.
But you know,
Ladder!
it's no CWFH Heritage Championship.
Well, I mean, it's got some heritage.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
proud
kind
heritage.
of in the title.
little bit.
Sean had it.
it's one of the words in the title.
And
Sean Waltman.
yeah.
Yeah.
The host of Xbox 12360.
right here on
Xbox.
AfterBuzz TV. The X-Packs, and I say this,
X-Pac.
loving, despite having a little bit of a turn for the worse, Peter Avalon, the current Heritage Champion,
Still,
that
dude's
Yeah.
got stranglehold on that bad boy.
yeah, it looks a little bit like a blow-up doll. So it's pretty close to Yoshihiko.
Are
You
now
know,
indistinguishable.
Not an insult to say that
That he
Freddie
reminds me
Peter
of-
Avalon looks a lot like a blow-up.
He's a young Yoshihiko.
yeah,
Yeah.
a young, ripped, shredded,
Shredded Yoshihiko. Like Yoshihiko 2.
Yes.
Eliho del Yoshi.
Yoshihiko. Perfect. And all you have to do is you just have to take the head and use that as the mask.
the Norv head.
Norv.
No,
Actually, you'd
that's
have
his
to,
cousin.
The mask of the
Blow-up
right,
doll.
but you'd have to cut it out to make room for Peter's
Norv.
gigantic nose.
We love you, Pete.
Cien wins this with a huge clothesline and a hammerlock DDT for the win. Honestly, though, go look up Yoshihiko. This match was fine. It showed that Cien is a bully, but not
Didn't
really,
show.
not really much more than that.
I didn't like this match.
He should have.
Oh?
I think what would have made this match better is if he had held Ho Ho Lun down and hit him with his own hands and then said, "Why are you hitting yourself?"
Idiot.
Yeah,
Idiot.
seriously, just wet willy him.
Or giving him the old like, and then Ho Ho Lun's like swinging.
Now that would have been like the true end of a Ho Ho Lun. 'Cause, he's a wee lad, that Ho Ho Lun, and
By the light of the silvery loon.
Damn it.
that was a good one. So let's just move on. Next match, Billie Kay versus Ember Moon in a pretty damn competitive matchup.
Yeah. No, I mean this. They
Like
already.
they flipped the switch on Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and now it's like, oh, you can have competitive matches now.
I mean, they look strong now.
Well, I mean, we all love Billie Kay and Peyton Royce right now. Like, they're doing great work. And I think what really made this match, though, was Billie Kay's selling of everything. It was just
She was really competitive. When she decided that it was time to wrestle, man, she brought it 100% because she wanted to end Ember Moon's winning streak. That's what she had to gain. Sure. She's like, I want this. I want to be that number, damn it. But
she wanted to be the very best.
The best that ever was.
I thought she was auditioning for one of Bailey's wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men, because spots on the Raw roster are so like.
Ember Moon kicks so hard she turns you into like cartoon characters of yourself. Oh.
Well, you know, Sasha and Charlotte started off as like Triple H's concubines at a WrestleMania entrance. So maybe someday we'll be talking about wacky waving arm number 3, or Bailey Buddy number 2.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine if it's just like a line of hugging? Like, what's Bailey's entrance at WrestleMania gonna be? Like one giant.
All the way down. No, all the way down.
All the way down the road. Yeah.
I want a Truckosaurus that just hugs. Like
Hugosaurus.
And then it breathes fire. It's Hugosaurus.
And it lights Bailey's name on fire and nobody gets it.
But
and then it lasts for an hour.
But one big one is also a great idea.
Yeah, just one big.
Or like, you know how like every year they have the, like whenever they do an outside stadium, now they have the tent over it.
Yeah.
What if there was one on top of the tent?
Oh, that'd be cool. Or like how they would have they had the flags around the entire stadium. If it's just all.
Yeah, all around, like the Roman Reigns pyro all the way around the bowl is just wacky waving. Mamma mia!
Mamma mia! It is now Bill Goldberg's new son. But Ember Moon, Peyton tried to help a couple times throughout the match. ends up, okay, all right, nope, ref catches
The
her in
ref
the
was
act.
looking right at her, and
Yeah.
you've got to know you're not going to win a match if you're trying to do something bad and the ref is looking at you.
Yeah.
Generally, you have to wait until his back is turned.
Generally,
One of the
Yeah.
unwritten rules of professional wrestling, which you can
It's in that
read in the
book.
new WWE book.
Yeah.
Unwritten rule of the road.
The written rules unwritten.
Unleashed.
Fire.
Bobby Unleashed Lee.
Bobby.
Yeah.
The rules of Bobby.
Bobby. Bobby.
Bobby.
It's the
Oh.
so Hank Hill's the reverse of Undertaker in current day.
Yeah.
When he goes like, rest in peace.
I would rather see a Dale Gribble Undertaker, but that's just me.
Super good. Well, he was for several years the American badass.
Wait, what did he carry on Pocket Sand too?
Yeah.
Pocket Sand. Still,
He
still one of
did.
the best.
He was throwing them soup bones in the corner, booger red.
No.
All right.
I
I would
it's
like.
his yard.
No, it's the big dog's yard. But this isn't the Raw After Show. Perish the thought. If you want to hear more about that, why don't you go and watch the Raw After Show on AfterBuzz TV
If you want to
every
perish
Monday.
more thoughts,
Yeah, perish us. We're ghosts. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. This is the last episode of the NXT
but
After
it
Show.
is the first
Just-
episode from Beyond the Grave.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's also our old graphic behind us. I just realized.
hey,
Any-
that's
anyway,
awesome.
What?
anyway,
Oh,
Billy. No, not him.
We're going to hear it on Reddit for this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Our
the old
subreddit.
logo.
Oh.
So Billy Kay wins with the Eclipse, or I'm sorry, Billy Kay loses to the Eclipse and ends up staying in the ring, not really moving, grabbing her throat.
She definitely took it and acted very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
she's like, I don't feel it here or here so much, but right here.
It was bad. It looked bad. It looked rough. Peyton
stinger.
Royce was concerned. Might have been a stinger.
Everybody was concerned.
Who?
No, it was just who? Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Thanks, Woodsy. So she ends up walking out on her own power, but what... does anyone think she's going to be okay? Has anybody seen any reports after the taping? If this was...
Yeah, I know nothing after, but I heard during people were a little shook. A
Oh,
little
up.
shook.
Oh.
And yeah, that just shows how absolutely dangerous Ember Moon can be.
Yeah, and how that... Dude, that
Billie
Eclipse...
Kay was down for, like, let's call it a 50 count.
Yeah.
So Asuka could potentially suffer something similar if everything goes right for Ember
Yeah,
Moon.
it just goes to show how devastating the move is, and that much like man, who was it? Oh, much like Mark Andrews, as long as they can hit that one move. I mean, Ember Moon
Well,
obviously
yeah.
is more
Yeah.
like obviously Ember Moon is more of a threat to Asuka than Mark Andrews was to Pete Dunne,
Yeah.
arguably. But as far as like the matchups go, like Ember Moon has a lot of stuff she can put you away with, for sure. But if she hits the Eclipse, it's it.
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
it.
That's it.
That's it. Like Asuka's kicked people before and they've kicked out. She's gotten people in the Asuka lock before and they've made it to the ropes. No one has kicked out of the Eclipse.
Yeah, nope. And this time especially, she barely walked away. So it's a statement. I mean, whether or not it was...
It looks like it affects the breathing, and as William Regal is on record of saying, you need to breathe in order to wrestle.
You gotta breathe
So-
to wrestle.
Yeah, it's an important part.
Yeah.
If only they would put that in the Unwritten Rules book that's coming out soon on www.shop.com.
I think that's probably the first one.
You have to breathe.
Gotta breathe to wrestle.
I think that's like a page 10.
Is that a page 10?
Sure.
Whoa.
It's a perfect 10?
But if you don't breathe, you might not make it to page 10, depending on how fast you read.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold your breath and start
Dead
reading.
by page 7. The wrestling.
Is that your
training
new
stuff.
script? New movie you're working on?
Dead by page 7.
No.
Make it. Make it, man.
No.
It's about a
got-
leaflet that kills you.
Just like right before we came on, I got a set of notes from a producer about a script, and I just hate this business so much.
Yay!
Yeah, I read the
Hollywood.
script. I read the script. Could you change everything about it?
Title.
Not sure. Not sure what you're going for here, but I mean, it has potential if it's a different script.
Just say no.
You can keep all the names the same.
Yeah.
No, change everything
We
else.
couldn't keep the names.
Not even the names. The
The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
There are no innocent, Jimbo.
These are
Like,
the
on,
stories.
on page 10, Nikki wears a hat.
Can we?
Yeah.
Can we a different
But
chapeau?
Nikki always wears a hat.
That's what I keep
how
trying
you
to tell
her
them. That's
apart
what
from her twin sister.
I know. I keep trying to tell them that. How great was it that on SmackDown, all 4 people in that tag team match were hat enthusiasts?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Anyway, we're not talking about SmackDown.
Are
you
you
can-
going
but you
to
can-
have a hat on a pole match now?
Hat off.
But you can watch the SmackDown After Show Tuesdays on AfterBuzz TV.
Have you guys heard about the latest on a pole match that's happening?
Can we
Yeah,
can we talk about
tell
it
me.
after?
More.
We'll talk about it in news gossip.
Okay, we'll wait till we get there.
Has nothing
But I was
to do
gonna
with
say,
NXT.
I'm going to write that down.
do it.
Hat on a pole match.
Speaking of being drug free, TJ Perkins, because he dared to, I don't know. He I had a joke.
Oh, dare. Okay, keep
yeah,
going.
dare.
We got it.
He
We're there.
dared.
He's dare
No,
wolf.
you keep giving up halfway through.
Yeah, because
Oh, he just dared.
it's fallen flat.
He just dared to.
Yeah,
fight
he
Shinsuke
dared
Nakamura.
to show up and fight Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hey, you gotta dare to dream.
Yeah.
Gotta dream the dreams that dream them.
Drug free is the way to be. He said whether it's 205 or NXT, he rolls where the competition is, and there's nobody hotter than Shin.
He rolls in his car where he slept
Because he was homeless?
because he was homeless.
He didn't say that tonight. How do you know?
Everybody knows,
Well, there's-
man. Everybody knows.
What he didn't say is there's no one hotter than Shin because Shin went out in that Orlando sun and didn't put on sunscreen.
Yeah, look at
That's just you get like the white, you know.
Lobster shin.
Yeah.
the Shin Lobstera. It's just like a giant Godzilla monster.
Shin lobster.
If Nakamura was a kaiju,
Yeah.
he'd be
Giant
Lobster
lobster.
Mura.
yeah. Yeah.
Shinsuke Lobster Mura.
Lobster.
We got Mike Quackenbush.
I had a good Shinsuke Lobstamura postmated to me last night. It was really good. Yeah,
Oh.
solid. Yeah, I got free delivery and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
delivery.
Los Angeles, man. Next match goes
Don't be
hard.
confused though. This is not brought to you by Blue Apron,
No.
and that's a plug you can.
But it could be. Please, Blue Apron.
Thanks, Bill. Today's show.
Please, God, we need to eat.
I can get
That's two meals for each of us.
I can get food and put an ad on.
Put a hat on?
Put an
Hat
ad
on.
on.
Put a hat
to
on.
my
Hat
box.
Are you a hat
An
person?
add-on.
Put a hat on.
Add-on.
Hat on.
Oh.
Hadron.
Large.
Super.
Speaking of
halida.
large hard-on colliders, I get hard.
The Revival taking on the Ealy brothers in a very elaborate robed entrance.
They have a ceremony
Yeah.
that they have to do before they
You know-
wrestle, where they kneel and pray to the Undertaker to deliver them, and then they take off their robes, revealing who they really are.
It's just normal twin stuff, dude. Just like how they have a special language for the two of the.
It's twin black magic because like sacrifices and stuff. What the hell are you talking about?
Is Aleister Black going to be their manager?
Probably.
Job.
Yeah, because like it was twin magic, and then because of the robes, it looked like they were sacrificing somebody. But then they had the really lame.
Twin dark magic,
Dark
perhaps,
magic.
would be.
Sure,
Dark magic.
sure, either or, whatever suits your needs.
The fell magics of necromancy or
Sure.
pyromancy,
Yeah,
perhaps.
it was just
Can't do that to a body. That's illegal.
It was just really misleading that they had very like generic tights and gear, but they had like Halloween store robes.
I like
and
that-
like a bright blue like watery video, and it's like, oh, it's just the Ealy brothers.
I liked that. I can't remember if it was Nigel or I think it was probably Nigel. Waited until like the absolute worst possible camera angle to be like, these two are specimens.
Well,
I know it's tough. I'm one to talk. Look at all this.
You're a specimen, Bill.
you're a specimen.
You're a specimen.
Specimen.
I have the exact
Curry Man?
I have the exact proportions of Winnie the Pooh, but 100% more pants.
But you are still wearing the red shirt.
That's an option.
I thought that's why you went for the pull.
Bill Hanstock Brock is a bear.
I was just, I thought of it because I was rubbing my tummy like he does. So, like when
When
there's a
he goes
rumbling and
hard.
it's stumbly.
Yeah. When he goes hard. Yeah.
Jesus.
What?
This is a family show.
Yeah, and
man.
I'm bringing it back to the match, damn it.
Well, he doesn't have pants on. That's true.
No, they don't wear the
Well, no,
pants.
he's stuffed with fluff, so he can't go hard.
He's pooing it.
Straight up pooing it. Speaking of pooing it, the Ealy brothers jump
Speaking
up
of
on
pooing it, this podcast.
Thanks for joining us every week. But the Ealy brothers jump up on the apron and immediately get thrown off of it by the Authors of Pain.
They're deceptively fast for big fellas.
Yeah.
That was great, but even better was the Revival's reaction to the Authors of Pain showing up to truck the Ealy brothers. Like, ooh!
They got out of that
Yeah.
ring.
That's why
they
you should.
F this and just ran away. They're, I wouldn't say cowards.
No.
Because-
No, they're smart.
The smart.
Yeah, I mean,
They're discerning.
you
Wicked
don't want to
smart.
fight guys that are that much bigger than you.
Especially when you're not like prepared for them, or when you don't have a match against them. Like,
And-
why even put yourself in that situation?
And they're like Owens. They're prize fighters. Like they're going to
Yeah.
go.
That's
They're
true.
going to go against the best to continue to prove
Just-
that they're the best.
Fists.
That's it.
Nope, no flips.
Just no. They're
No, nothing.
No,
nothing, just-
nothing at all.
fists. You know who their favorite Star Wars character is?
Who?
Fisto.
Kit Fisto. Yeah.
Well,
Jedi,
also their
Jedi
favorite,
Master Fisto.
Their favorite Masters of the Universe is Fisto.
It's Fisto as well. Yes.
Lot of master fistos.
Who's their favorite independent female wrestler?
Lou Fisto.
Thank you.
Their favorite
Shaza.
injury is a fistula.
Oh, very good.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep moving.
Let's Google it.
Shazza.
I don't know.
I want pictures.
Also, mad props to Nigel McGuinness giving us a shout out in the main event by saying Kinshasa.
Yeah, Kinshaza. That was for
Nigel,
us.
he and I are friends.
Friend
He
of the show.
listens.
Go
Yeah,
way back.
Friend of the show.
Absolutely.
He refed a match between you and Dan Joseph.
He did.
It's for the Pixel Pro Wrestling Championship.
Yep.
It was a great
It's a
time.
proud day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one time my dumpy ass got in
You
a
should
ring.
have challenged Dan Joseph to a match where he, if he loses, he has to pick one of his first names.
Maybe. I had a match where I just kept hitting him in the balls.
That's cool. That works too.
Accidentally. You can watch that online. That's really fun.
There's a lot of fun stuff online. Not like this after show. So we find out that after the show, the Ealy brothers want the Authors of Pain next. So we're gonna see them again.
I
Get
hope
killed.
they do more. I hope they get something because this is not helping them. The rope thing's confusing, and then they don't get to do anything, so it doesn't help us like them.
Yeah.
They're twins. That does not really connect with the rest of the audience, the majority of whom are not twins.
Okay, here's my idea.
All right?
Next time the Elys come out, they do the station dance, and then they fuse into Dan Matha. Somehow.
All right.
They need more of that black magic
What if
skill.
they turn into Mark Henry?
Okay.
You can see that.
Oh, Jimbo got me with Station.
Yeah.
That was good. After this, we got a whole bunch of segments. Regal with Ember Moon, because Ember won the match against Billie Kay. It's going to be Ember Moon versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship, much like was predicted, at NXT TakeOver Orlando.
Undefeated.
It's going to be great.
Big build.
We get a reminder that Bobby Roode versus Cassius Ohno is happening next week for the NXT Championship. So we go to the Performance Center where we have Tom Phillips with Cassius Ohno, who's excited to be back, but it's a little surreal. You know, he was a part of the crew that loaded in the Performance Center. You know, he saw it when it was just a big old warehouse. It's weird. While he's traveled the world so much and expanded his repertoire and appeared in all these different companies, having him come back is really like bearing a flag from a bygone era of NXT. He just sort of showed up in the title picture, and for me right now, he doesn't really fit anywhere. So I really hope that he finds his niche. What does everybody think about Cassius so far?
There's not a whole lot to feel anyway about. We haven't really gotten to see him in the ring. We haven't seen what makes him different from his previous run. Like his previous run, it was good. It was not stellar. That's why he was no longer with the company. So explain to us what's different.
Yeah.
Don't act like everything's the same. Like, I went out on top and now I'm back. Like you went out on the bottom.
Also, I think what they're doing is they're acting like everyone is intimately familiar with what he's accomplished since he left NXT, and that is not the case. So if he's spent these years traveling the world, being decorated and winning championships and improving his style, tell us that, or show us something to that effect. Don't just, like you said, don't just like take it as read or as written or as presented to us.
Just I never accept anything at face value, and it doesn't mean anything that he's back. He hasn't proved anything in NXT.
Yeah.
But
He's proved it everywhere else, arguably.
But at least the very next segment gets to these issues.
Yeah, and at the same time, at any time that they're talking about the NXT title picture nowadays, they say Cassius Ohno, Cassius Ohno, Cassius Ohno, Cassius Ohno, Cassius Ohno's Cassius Ohno, which is like a script writing trick to be like, make sure you know your characters' names before they do something important. So it seems like it's very much pushed back on to the NXT audience to be like, oh no, you know him.
When Poochie isn't on screen, all the other characters should be talking.
About him, yeah.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, technically this is the return of Poochie
But it's the same.
because he went.
Like I think
Thank
that
you,
we've
Shadow
seen
Throw
because
Audience.
we've gone through this. We've gone through so many different eras of NXT and so many different like times where there's a disconnect between like the quality of the performer and the quality of the in-ring product versus like the stories that they're actually telling. And we're in one of those eras right now where it's like they don't really know what to do with Roderick Strong. They don't really know what to do with Ty Dillinger. They don't really know what to, like. So it's just sort of.
But they're on screen because they have
I
name
know.
recognition.
Sure, no.
And that's really it.
Right.
They're on screen because they have a name. And there's so many other guys who are being developed and could be great, but they don't have name recognition. So the company doesn't want to take a chance right now and put anybody out there and have to build anybody. So it's everything is like Cassius Ohno. They take somebody and go, here it is. They don't want to build anything. They just throw it in there because doing that is way easier than actually building anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't like where we're at right now.
But at the same time, they are, in my opinion, just with one vignette, already starting to really successfully build Aleister Black, because it's like, oh, here's something interesting. We don't know exactly what this is, but we have a pretty good idea. Like, we know what this is.
Right, yeah.
But just that, like, here's something spooky, something setting the tone of the character. What we got for Cassius Ohno was, you've seen this guy before. Here's a package of the stuff you saw last time.
Yeah.
So they do
perfect
know
reaction.
they do know what to do for some people, but other people, like you said, they're just bringing in because people know who they are.
Yeah.
And that's not always good enough. Like people knew may have heard the name Shinsuke Nakamura. They may have known what he looks like. They may have maybe seen a match of his. But all they had heard about him was, this guy's amazing, wait till you see this guy. And then they saw that guy.
That was enough.
And that's it. But not everyone is Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them are Roderick Strong. Some of them are Cassius Ohno. Like, not a knock on them.
No.
Just, you're not Shinsuke Nakamura, and you can't get by on, wait till you see this guy.
Shinsuke also didn't go immediately into the title picture. He had to establish who he
He
was
had to have a
an
match
entirely
first.
new
Yeah.
audience. Instead of just going, oh, this guy, you know this guy. He's here again.
Yeah.
For Ohno, it's again. For a lot of guys, it's, for the first time. And they pretend like it matters. Who really cares? Beat somebody.
James Storm had a better intro, and like even though he was a surprise,
Right.
like the couple of weeks that he was in,
Remember
it was
James
just like,
Storm?
dude, look at this guy.
It was a genuine surprise.
Yeah,
And even like with Bobby Roode, where people were, and that was in, the Bobby Roode thing was in the era of like, they're just bringing in a bunch of guys from this other company.
Yeah.
What the heck? And everyone thought they knew, everyone thought they had an idea of what Bobby Roode was. And then we got Bobby Roode NXT with the music, with the personality, and that's what it is. Like, if you don't have a slam dunk, if you don't have a home run, like, know that like something's just gonna like set the world on fire. You have to do the work. You have to put in the work.
Yeah. And speaking of Bobby Roode, we got a interview from him, live from his, I would assume, palatial estate in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Shut up, Tom! Carrying the torch from our long-departed Corey Graves. Talking about how the future was in his hand, and he'd be damned if a man like Cassius Ohno was going to walk in and ruin it. I mean, he's kind of schlubby. I get it. The man compared to a perfect specimen like Bobby Roode.
I've heard Bobby Roode say about Cassius Ohno what a lot of people have said about me. How does this guy raise the caliber of a product? And I have to say it's in the work. I think that more than anything, Bobby Roode is afraid of what Cassius Ohno may be able to do. That Cassius Ohno is perhaps more substance than even Bobby Roode is, because Bobby Roode is a whole lot of flash. The robe, the entrance, that's the majority of what Bobby Roode is. Now comes in a guy like Cassius Ohno who's not flashy and just hits really, really hard. So I think Bobby Roode's scared. More than anything, he's scared.
Yeah.
But Bobby Roode is, of course, a master of mind games and getting into someone's head, so he's trying what he can. He has his game plan, and he's...
But he's also sizzle and steak.
Yeah.
He's got it all. Like, Bobby Roode is one of those guys where you look at him and go, is he a pro wrestler? Because he looks like a prototypical pro wrestler.
Oh.
Yes.
And acts like it too. Good for
And
him.
Cassius Ohno does not. He looks like a
And then
retired basketball player.
And then he'll hit you
Yep.
with a basketball.
He'll hit you with his elbow about a half 1,000 times.
And then we got our main event, TJ Perkins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. One of the things that I liked a lot about TJ's performance in this match is he didn't waste a move. He got cut off a lot, and Shinsuke stopped him at several turns, but he didn't waste an opportunity to go after the knee. Almost every offensive move, and it was pretty offensive, that TJ did in this match was to isolate the injured knee of Shinsuke.
He targeted two parts primarily. One part being the neck, which has old injuries attached to it, and the knee, which has fresh injuries attached to it. So he's really using his head. He knows Shinsuke. He admitted it himself when he was interviewed backstage. These two have known each other since Los Angeles.
The dojo, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a great match to have now, and I think that having these two who know each other so well face each other made the match really something to look forward to.
And a good tune-up match for Shinsuke Nakamura. And speaking to how William Regal feels about him, and NXT proving that he still deserves his title shot rematch on WrestleMania weekend, because they're not just giving him, for example, a Ho Ho Lun or a Patrick Clark. They're saying, why don't you prove you can go against a former WWE title holder?
Yeah.
And then we'll see how things go.
Well, also winner of the entire CWC, so it's like like TJ's accomplishments speak for themselves, but just for his short time in WWE too, that's an amazing opponent to come back to.
Sure.
He ain't no Elias Sampson. So Nakamura wins with a Kinshasa, pretty straightforward.
Well, I mean, it was a back and forth matchup. But TJ's fast. He uses that to his advantage. But Nakamura is smart enough to know when to move in such a way to catch TJ in an open spot.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes dangerous. He's able to counter punch and counter kick very effectively.
Yeah.
And then after the match,
William Regal announced that the winner of Ohno vs. Roode next week will face Shinsuke Nakamura at TakeOver. So Shinsuke will be receiving his rematch against whoever wins.
That's pretty interesting. You usually build up an angle around a title, not around the guy who's not the champion.
That shows the power of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, they're treating him like Floyd Mayweather.
or like John Cena.
Well,
It's the big
He's
show.
the John Cena of NXT.
He's pretty super.
He's the John Cena and the Roman Reigns of NXT.
Mama Mia.
He does shake.
Yeah.
He shakes.
Mamma mia.
I'm just happy he didn't dab and shake. So before we go, a split second of news.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Cool. Because you mentioned we'll get them both.
Do we have actual like NXT news?
Well, no, because you said let's do it for the news, the thing you want to talk about.
Right,
we'll
we
do
were
it afterwards.
talking about.
Yeah,
It
go ahead.
doesn't have anything to do with NXT though.
Okay, that's fine.
Poll.
Whatever.
I don't care.
Well,
So we got like 2
it
minutes.
was announced on social media this morning that Ryback will be facing Colt Cabana at a match in Rahway, New Jersey. A specific type of match, a CM Punk action figure on a pole match. Because everyone has a good sense of humor about themselves.
Okay, that's okay. All right, okay.
Like if you're gonna
Okay.
do it, at least like at least they both have the sense of humor about themselves to do it. And two, like if you're gonna do something stupid, just go all the way and do the stupidest thing you can think of.
Is it an elite figure? Or is it basic?
Jimbo, I don't think that's the point.
It's not about.
It is
It's
to
not
me,
that
damn
they
it.
want
It
to.
still is to
It's
me,
not
damn it.
that they want to own the figure.
It's that they want to win the damn
Yeah.
match.
Is it mitten box? Is
It's
it
the one. It's the elite. It's the Toys R Us exclusive elite figure with the megaphone that is like the only CM Punk figure that you can find at Toys R Us.
Oh, where he has the sideburns?
Yes.
Oh, it's-
I hope
He
they're
knows,
getting
so,
paid a lot of money.
I mean,
That's all I can say.
Well, I'm sure Ryback is getting paid a lot of money.
I hope Colt is getting paid a lot of. I
You
New
really-
Jersey.
I mean, I'm
from Jersey.
I'm not saying this is a slight to either guy, but I don't think that they're going to be, since it's a CM Punk action figure on a pole match, I don't think they're going to be like busting their asses and like, you know what I mean?
the
Like,
match is like Meltzer 5 stars.
yeah, they're not like in the sumo hall, you know.
It's gonna be. They're gonna get bumped with the action figure for the win.
Nice.
That's. I mean, or listen. I need a stiff drink.
You need a light.
You out of that coffee?
I need a let.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably where we should end it, huh?
Well, Joseph
Unless we have
Boza.
actual news?
Well, Joseph Boza mentioned in the chat that Rachel Ellering signed with Impact Wrestling and is going to be making her debut against Sienna soon, which is great. She's a former NXT. She appearer. She fought a couple of times. So cool.
And NXT still hasn't signed with the Trinidad somehow.
I mean, not
Or
yet.
Santana Garrett.
We're getting there.
Okay.
I think especially after everything that Thea has done for the movie.
Oh well, we do have the women's tournament is coming up.
Sure, and if I would find it very hard to believe if Thea or Santana were not involved in that.
Right.
Yeah. So I believe that'll do it for this episode of the NXT After Show. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Until next time, Bill, what are you working on? Where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Sunday Motel. You can check out all of our stuff at uprocks.com with spandex.com, uprocks.com/sports. Make sure you check out Brandon Stroud's stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Mr. Brandon Stroud. He's got a movie coming out soon. He's writing stuff all the time that's great, and you should read it, and you should tell your friends about it. Yeah, that's it.
This was the weirdest episode of NXT
I'm really
we've
sorry.
had in a long time.
Yeah, this is great.
This was the roller coaster of emotion.
We got one more with all three of us before the
Wow.
weird Mania and post Mania schedule.
Wow.
So
Well, you can follow me at True Hobo. You can watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood on Fight TV. There's a taping on this Sunday, the 12th. I'm going to be in Vegas for ROH the 10th and 11th. That's why I told you to tweet them and piss them off, because they get to tell me to my face.
Yeah,
Think about me.
bombard ROH with Hire the Hobo.
Hire the
Hire the
Hobo.
Hobo. Hashtag it.
I'm gonna do it. I won't. But make sure to follow me on Twitter at Mark Donica. Watch all of our wrestling content that we have. We've got Raw on Mondays, SmackDown on Tuesdays, us on Wednesdays. Who knew? Leave us comments on iTunes and down below on YouTube. Also, Mondays we have Making the Way to the Ring with Lillian Garcia. This past week we had AJ Styles, and in the coming weeks we're gonna have Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. So make sure to tune into those. That's why while they were in town, we pre-recorded some of those. And then this week on Xbox 12360, we had Joey Ryan in studio. Awesome show. I highly recommend you go listen to it because he talks about his sponsorship in great detail.
I mean, I did beat Joey Ryan once, but that's beside the point.
And that actually came up.
And he never got his win back on me.
Nope.
Oh, it came up?
Yeah, it came up.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
'cause-
remembers me.
Yeah, he remembers you. And
You
then,
feel touched.
if everything goes well, we're gonna have some great guests lined up for Xbox 12360 as well. Please make sure to follow the Real Xbox or me, because we're gonna be talking a lot about the next couple of guests that we have possibly lined up for Xbox 12360. Follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV, nxteam.spreadshirt.com. Help us get to Florida. We love you. We thank you. We're sorry. Have a good night.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
We're gonna buzz you later, mate.
Buzz me later.
Cheers out.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.